The use of chakra healing originated in India between 1500 and 500 BC. It is used in a number of treatments and rituals by Reiki masters, in yoga, and by holistic healers and therapists. Chakra, in its literal translation, means wheel, and it refers to a spiritual energy center within the body. There are 7 in total that align throughout the body from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. The chakras correspond to specific organs that reflect the states of being and influence all areas of your life, such as physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual. So, as I just mentioned, there are 7 chakras, and they each play a role in your wellness, whether you know it or not. Today, I'm going to talk all about chakras and crystals. If this episode isn't your jam, it's cool. Feel free to tune out today. However, if you're curious or wanting to learn more about your chakras and what crystals have to do with any of this, then listen on. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another episode of Saged and Melanated. I'm your host, Corina Dunn, your favorite herbalist and wellness travel curator, and today we are diving deep into the mystical and transformative world of crystals and chakras. So get ready to align your energy for powerful manifestation. But before we get started with that, y'all, I don't know if y'all can hear that, but that's my lighter. I am literally lighting a stick of sage because I believe that it's important when you are talking about topics to come forth with clean, pure energy. So let's do a quick energy cleanse to prepare our minds, souls, and hearts to receive the information that is contained here today. Grab your sage or your energy cleansing sprays because y'all just heard I got mine. All right. Now that we have cleared our energy and our aura, let's get into our 30 seconds of gratitude. I am so grateful for continued healing. I'm grateful for the use of my limbs, my body. It carries me wherever I need to go. I'm grateful for my home. It protects me from the elements outside. I'm grateful for my family because they provide so much love and support. I'm grateful for you for listening and riding with me all along the way. I'm grateful for new and unseen opportunities for so many things that have come to pass that I never could have dreamt of. I am so grateful for healthy whole foods and access to those healthy whole foods. And I am grateful that everything is always working together for my greater good. I know that was more than 30 seconds, and it always is. And that's okay. Because when you're giving gratitude, there is no time limit on it. And the more grateful that you are, the more you are able to receive your abundance and your blessings that you so richly deserve. Now, let's transition in today's episode. So, as we get started, I want to acknowledge that we are all on our own unique spiritual journeys, okay? And I believe that the right to change our minds and opinions based upon new information is essential, and everybody has that right. And that's precisely what brings us closer to understanding the world of crystals, chakras, and ourselves. So the things discussed in this episode should be used as a guide and a help to help you begin or add to your own spiritual journey. I nor anyone else can tell you how to walk your own path because, family, that is deeply personal. Let's get into it. Crystals have been used for centuries to enhance energy and chakras and are energy centers of our bodies, right? So combining these two powerful elements together can help us to manifest our deepest desires and, believe it or not, address our wellness. So let's start by understanding each chakra. So the body has 7 main chakras. Each is associated with a specific area of our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. And these centers run from the base of our spine to the crowns of our head. Now think of them as spinning wheels, each vibrating at a different frequency. Like, I'm getting tongue-tied talking about this, y'all. So the first chakra is the root chakra. It's located at the base of the spine. So when you're sitting, that's really kind of where your root chakra is. It represents your foundation and feeling grounded. And so when it's blocked, you might feel anxiety, lack of physical energy, a sense of being just ungrounded and overwhelmed, disorganized, even. And so to align this chakra, you can use red or black crystals like red jasper or black onyx. I own both of those. You can also wear the color red or the color black. So I'm going to give you a little story and a little example for myself. I just came upon the 1-year anniversary of my grandmother's transition. And for many of you who know this already, who listened to the show before when it was under a different name, you know how deeply that affected me. I had been going about my life thinking I was back to quote unquote normal. I want to say the last 6 months or so. And, you know, the grief that hit me when it first happened was just unfathomable. Like, I can't adequately put into words the amount of pain and deep sorrow that I felt. And I'm going along thinking that everything is all good. You know, she passed a couple of days after Thanksgiving, and it was the Saturday after Thanksgiving last year, or in 2022. By the time this comes out, we'll be in 2024. But she left me with so much. However, I did not expect for what happened to me to happen to me. Yes, I knew that it was going to be hard. I knew it was going to be rough. But I did not expect to feel as though her passing literally had just happened. And, you know, I felt the emotions coming. Late October-ish, I started to feel them coming. So I knew something was coming. But y'all, when I tell you that the amount of grief that I felt this past Thanksgiving, it had me unable to get out of bed. I wasn't eating. I was waking up every single night at 4 a.m. Every single night. Like, no matter what I did, it didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter any of my normal remedies for anxiety and sleep. Y'all, this piece of hair is on my last nerve. If you're watching this, you'll see me constantly messing with this piece of hair. But anyway, I couldn't get out of bed. I wasn't eating. I wasn't sleeping. All I could do was cry. And when I say cry, it was a gut-wrenching, soul-grabbing cry. Like, the grief I felt, my limbs felt heavy. I had no motivation to do anything. My anxiety levels were through the roof. I was forgetting things. I was leaving my car keys inside my car and walking away. I was forgetting to pay bills. I was disorganized. I was so overwhelmed and ungrounded. And it wasn't until I was able to start to reapply some of the techniques that I use when I feel ungrounded, such as EFT tapping. I use EFT tapping. I learned about this from my therapist last year when I lost my grandmother when she first passed, and it helps to reset your nervous system. And I did that, and I meditated. And meditation, it always grounds me. It brings me back physically into my body and allows me to disrupt whatever stress signals I'm getting, whatever, anxiety, whatever thoughts are coming, they are immediately disrupted when I take out time, even if it's just 5 minutes. Going outside for walks. I grab the head of security, Okoye, my Cane Corso. I grab her and we go outside and we have the most amazing walks. And being outside in nature, it automatically grounds me. I don't know if it has to do with my personality, my particular, makeup in the way that I am, but being outside in nature, it is so good for my soul, good for my mental health. And I did yoga. Yoga immediately brings me back, a grounding sequence. It immediately brought me back into my body and I immediately began to feel better. I had some of my herbal tea that I make my stress blend, and that is currently available in my Etsy store. And that link will be available in the description box below, but it is absolutely incredible what these natural remedies do. Instead of me running to go and get a pill, I used the tools that I had at my disposal that I knew to help me reground and realign my root chakra. All right. Yeah, we went on a little bit about that. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the second chakra. The second chakra is the sacral chakra, which is located in your lower abdomen, and it's associated with creativity and passion. And when it's blocked, you may experience creative blocks, intimacy issues, and the inability to flow with change. I worked with a client briefly, and I remember she was going through some things when it came to her own ability to bear children. And one of the first things I told her when she immediately began to talk to me is I told her, your sacral chakra is blocked. When it's blocked, we have those issues. We're unable to allow our creative juices to flow. We're unable to connect on more intimate levels. So if you are struggling with your creativity, I get that. I'm a serial crafter, y'all. I love to craft. I love to crochet. And so whenever I can't craft and it doesn't help, and that creativity is blocked, or when I am trying to come up with things to post on social media, content often, that's when my sacral is blocked. And that's when I know, all right, it's time for me to unblock it. Let's get to it. And the colors associated with that are orange. So you can try using crystals like carnelian. And again, I have those. Each one of the crystals that I'm talking about, I have these all in my own personal arsenal, and I use them religiously, and they really do help. I know this might sound like, for those unfamiliar, this might sound like a little hoodoo or whatever, but it really is not. These are things that our ancestors utilized, but it was stripped away from us when we were brought through the Middle Passage. So think about that. All right, let's get into the third chakra. Our third chakra is the solar plexus chakra, and it's found in your upper abdomen. It's linked to our personal power and our self-esteem. And when it's blocked, you may experience low self-esteem, lack of willpower, fear of rejection. So if we are feeling some of these things, we need to up our self-love game, right? Our self-care game. And listen, I have talked about this repeatedly. And self-care is not just about bubble baths and spa days and retail therapy. Self-care is whatever helps you to feel grounded, helps you to feel good on the inside. One thing I do for self-care is reading. I absolutely love to read. Getting in what I call my comfort corner. It's what my whole family calls my comfort corner. It's a corner on my sofa where only I sit. When the kids want to feel comfort, I can always tell when they're dealing with things because they'll go and crawl into my corner and grab my blanket and wrap themselves in it. And it's okay because I recognize that that's what they need in the moment. But for me, I absolutely love sitting there, like when I'm watching something funny on TV and I'm just kind of cuddling up when I'm crocheting or I'm reading. It is an amazing therapy piece for me, that self-care for me. My skincare routine, the way that I take my time and just massage my face and really rub in my skincare products, that's self-care for me. I use my facial steamer and all of those things. That's self-care for me. Self-care for me is my exercise every morning because that is the time that I take that's just for me every single day. If I don't get any more time the rest of that day, I had that 20 to 45 minutes that was just for me in silence. It's funny because every time I do it, my dog is always right there, and watching her watch me exercise is hilarious because like the quizzical look on her face is like, what is happening here? But I absolutely love it. I post these things in my stories. So if you get a chance, check out my stories because it's really in there and it's so funny watching her try to figure out what's happening. All right. Now, the crystals that you can use to help you to align your solar plexus, is a crystal called citrine. And also wear the color yellow because that's the color of that's associated with the solar plexus. So yellow foods, yellow shirts, whatever yellow, it helps to raise that vibration and to realign that chakra. Now let's keep moving on up to the 4th chakra. We are now talking about the heart chakra. It is situated in the center of our chest, and it's all about love, compassion, and forgiveness. When it's blocked, you may feel difficulty in relationships, lack of compassion, even hopelessness at times. So green crystals like a or rose quartz. Rose quartz isn't green. Aqua aventurine, that is one that is green. And a rose quartz can help to open this chakra, even a clear quartz, because these are rose quartz and clear quartz. A clear quartz can kind of be used for anything. It is so amazing, and you can use it for any of the chakras, right? Because it's that powerful. It's kind of a neutral crystal. However, a rose quartz is specifically associated with love. And when you want to feel love and give love and receive love, you've got to balance out that heart chakra and make sure that you're not feeling those lack of compassion or that hopelessness. And doing something good for someone else always opens up that heart chakra. I don't talk about it all the time, but I routinely give back by donating and using my time to help others. It is an amazing feeling. It feels absolutely incredible to be able to help someone else however you can, wherever you are. So think about that the next time that your heart chakra is off. Just think about that. Wear green clothing, eat green foods, green peppers. I have green sweaters and green tank tops. I have a lot of green. If you follow me on socials, you know that. So the 5th chakra is our throat chakra. Now, it's at the throat area and it governs communication and self-expression. And when it's blocked, you may experience difficulty communicating your thoughts and speaking your truth. I have been in so many situations, and for so many years of my life, my throat chakra was blocked all the way off. And when I think back to that time, it reminds me of how fortunate I am now to have gotten to a space where I can open and express myself fully be myself, express myself to others without negativity, without being, hurtful or revengeful or anything of that nature. That's not what we're trying to do. Having your throat chakra open doesn't mean you're out to hurt people. Opening your throat chakra and speaking your truth simply means that you are living out loud. You are living your best self. You are being authentically you. And you being authentically you shouldn't hurt anybody else. As I tell people all the time, what I do to protect my space, my spirit, my energy is not to hurt you, but it is to help and protect me. We are never out on, a mission to hurt other people. That's not our intention. So one of the ways that you can help to, balance out that and unblock that throat chakra are blue stones like blue lace agate. They're really good for that because these crystals give you this feeling, this sense of oneness, and it gives you a sense of support, and it allows you to really start to get realigned to your true self. Next, let's go to the 6th chakra. We're almost at the end, y'all. And it is your third eye. And your third eye is right here, found between the eyes. This chakra is associated with intuition and inner wisdom. And when it's blocked, you may experience poor intuition, difficulty making decisions, and lack of inspiration. For as long as I can remember, and I don't know if it has anything to do with me being a Libra and always wanting everything to be so balanced and so even and so fair. Sometimes I had difficulties making decisions. Decision making was not my strong suit for a long time. It didn't become my strong suit until I want to say these last maybe 3 years or so. In these last 3 years, I have been in a space where I can make a decision and ride with it. And I don't care who likes it, who doesn't, how anybody else feels about it, but I make that decision and I ride with it. I stand on business, as people like to say. But when you have those, decisions, you have decisions that you have to make, and you want to be able to make those from a space of clarity and a space of having all the information that you need and being comfortable with making that decision and being comfortable with sitting with it no matter how it plays out. So indigo crystals like amethyst can help enhance the energy of that third eye. And listen, we all have intuition. Women's intuition is a whole different thing. And I think everybody knows that. But making sure that your intuition is on point is extremely important. And for me, it's very important because of, I travel a lot. Many of you know I am a model and I'm also a travel agent. So I travel a tremendous amount and I'm not always accompanied. So ensuring that that third eye and my intuition is sharp is critical for my safety, right? So if you need that, get you some denim, get you some blue, and that'll help you. That'll help you with both that throat chakra as well as that third eye. Finally, the 7th chakra, which is the crown, and is located at the top of our heads. And it represents the connection to the divine, whatever you call it. If you call it God, if you call it universe, if you call it the divine, whatever you choose to call it. Because remember, this is personal, y'all. Remember that. So whatever you choose to call that higher power, it represents that connection with that higher power. And when it's blocked, you're going to experience lack of spiritual connection to that higher power, difficulty meditating, aimlessness. You're going to feel out of place, like you are just wandering lost. And again, that story I told you guys earlier in the show was exactly what I was feeling. like the aimlessness, the difficulty, the inability to meditate when you are in a heightened level of grief, pain, anger, frustration. These are some of the emotions that cause your chakras to become unaligned, even jealousy, envy. These things cause your chakras to become unaligned. And when you are unaligned that deeply, it creates this break. It creates a break between you and that higher power, that higher being that you need in order to walk through this spiritual journey. So purple crystals or white crystals, like I told you, remember that clear quartz, amethyst is another one. It's purple. It's perfect. Again, it's perfect for this chakra. These are absolutely amazing for helping you to realign yourself. Getting grounded is going to help you to really dig deep and to get realigned. Because listen, if we don't have that spiritual connection to our higher power, to our higher deity, we're lost in the water anyway, y'all. Now here are, I'm holding currently some of the crystals in my collection. I have crystals all over. I've got black obsidian. I've got clear quartz. I've got red jasper. I've got moonstone. I have all these crystals in my hand. And these are just, like I said, these are just a few of the crystals that I have in my repertoire. And I use these to help me when I need to feel a sense of balance and I need to feel a sense of alignment in a conjunction with the rest of the things that I talked about. Now, let's be clear, y'all. Okay. Ain't nobody fitting to get a crystal and just grab it and then everything's all good. No, you have to use it in conjunction with other things like meditation, like yoga, like laugh therapy, adult coloring books, self-care practices, rest. Sometimes sleeping is all you need. You know what you're going through. And I tell people all the time, nobody can tell you when you should be done healing because nobody has been through what you've been through. Nobody knows everything that you've endured. That's why this journey of spirituality, this journey of healing is so very personal for every single person. So by aligning your chakras using these corresponding crystal examples that I've given in this episode, we can clear energy blockages and create balance in our lives. But remember, intention is the key. So meditate with your chosen crystals. Visualize your desires and amplify their manifestation power. They can help your wildest dreams come true. Trust me, y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all because I am currently living the life that I manifested. My family and I, we do vision boards each year. And actually, I do mine twice a year because oftentimes the things that I manifest at the end of the year, by the middle of the year, have already come to pass. So it's time for me to manifest more. And so I have vision boards and I look back at those and I keep them. I keep them so that I can look back on them and look upon them and see, oh, wow, this happened. This really did happen. You know, my son and I were having a discussion not too long ago and he saw one of my older vision boards and his eyes just was like, he was like, Mom, all this stuff really did happen. Yes. When you vibrate at those higher frequencies, what you put out is what you get back. So if you're putting out positivity, higher vibrations, love, compassion, forgiveness for yourself and for others, when you're putting that out there into the universe, I promise you that is exactly what's coming back to you. Because that is what has happened for me. The life I currently live, I manifested this life and I could not be happier. And I ain't going back. So whether you're new to the world of spirituality or a seasoned practitioner, working with crystals and chakras can be a beautiful and transformative experience. It is a journey of self-discovery, healing, and growth. Thank you for joining me today on this enlightening episode of Saged and Melanated. I hope that you're feeling inspired to explore the world of crystals and chakras for your own energy alignment and manifestation purposes. Remember, we're all beautiful souls on this journey together. If you want to connect with me, you can find me on social media. I'm on Instagram at CoriDion_. Also, you can also follow me on Facebook. I'm at Cori Dion there as well. And yeah, that's about it. Also, I will again put the link to my Etsy store that contains the herbal teas. That will be in the link, as well as a link if you want to join one of my self-care retreats. I've got self-care retreats coming up in 2024. And if you would like to join one, or even have your own, just maybe you want your own private self-care situation and you need some help planning that, I will put the link to book a call with me so we can set up your one-on-one, do a one-on-one consultation and build your dream self-care relaxation event. All right, guys, take care and stay well, my friends, and we will see you in the next episode of Saged and Melanated.